The hardest part about Sophia Richie, now Grange's veil, was figuring out how to do it. I combed throughout the internet, I looked at all of the videos, and I figured it out. And now I'm going to show you how to do it. The Sophia Richie veil has little tiny resin dewdrops all over it, and that is probably the most complicated part of this entire thing. It's basically a drop veil with a cathedral. That's it. And then it was embellished by Chanel's team with thousands of little resin dots, and it's absolutely beautiful. It looks like rain has fallen on your veil. Hi, I'm Dorene Vandermeer. I'm a bridal milliner, and I'm sharing 30 plus years of my experiences, and one of them is how to make the Sophia Richie veil. I'm going to show you how to do it from start to finish, and it is easier than you think. It's actually quite simple and only requires a few things. I'm going to put all the supplies in the description below, and we're going to dive into this amazing, highly creative veil. The first part of our Sophia veil will be cut from this illusion netting, and it's 108-inch width. And we're going to keep the width, and we're going to do about 90 inches out. And the reason for that is when you're cutting a circle, which we're making a drop veil, you have to have some extra salvage in order to get that circle perfectly round. And we're trying to hit about 45, right about the hip or fingertip, but my goal is to hit about 45 with the circle. All right, we're going to do a cut edge because her veil was a cut edge. We're going to be embellishing this with little resin dots. And I use a rotary cutter with my Yardstick to give a nice crisp edge, and can't get any crisper than that. All right, I'll move all this stuff aside. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take this 90 inches and we're going to fold it to make a little circle, or I should say a big circle. All right, we're going to take, this is the end, this is the top. We're going to fold that in half, and we're going to put those together, and we're going to flick it. Here's where the fold is. This is the length. And now we're going to be cutting the edges and creating that circle. Now here's the bottom of the veil. I'm now going to take that bottom of the veil over, and I'm going to make a giant triangle. Sorry, my camera is not bigger, but you can kind of get the idea. So now here's where the comb is. Here's where the edges are. These are all the folds, and now this is going to be the bottom of that circle. And we're going to keep making another triangle, kind of get all this as straight as you possibly can. We're dealing with air here. Just kind of keep fiddling with it till it straightens out. And what will start to happen is you'll see that the edges will start to tear, and we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to keep folding that triangle, and you can see there's that one edge right here, here's that one edge, and then there's another one going that way. What we're trying to get is this edge here. We're going to fold it one more time. I'm going to turn it so I can actually see that edge really well, and very important, see how this kind of folded over, get all that smoothed out, and just so you can orient yourself, here's that where the comb is. This is the center of that circle. And now you can see, I hope you can see right here where there's that little edge there. That's the edge I'm going to go for. I'm going to measure this out. That edge lands at about 41. So you could go a little longer. This is 90 inches, go 95, 100, however long you want that circle to be. And then you can just keep going until you get the edge you want. And I'm going to cut right here. Now, one of the things that's real important is you don't want to round it. Like in your mind, you think, oh, it should be a circle and we'll round it. What will happen is you will create a scallop, which is beautiful. But what we're going to do is we're going to go straight across, meeting right there. I'm going to get my yardstick out. And you're going to have to put a lot of pressure because there's a ton of layers here. Nice clean cut. That's what we're looking for, and a nice clean edge. Now you can take a peek at your circle and you will notice that there are still some corners there. That's because we cut it straight at the beginning. What we're going to do is I'm going to slightly round off that corner, just slightly, barely round it off. And we're going to chip away at it until we get a perfect little circle. There we go, almost there. Right here, you see how this points out? We're just going to slightly curve that just a smidge until we have more of a rounded look here, which I think we've achieved. Yep, we got our round. And I'll pull this out just a little bit so you can see like the half circle here, because you're not going to see the whole circle on my table, but you kind of get an idea. So this is basically a circle cut in half. And when you say drop edge, that means the comb being here, the edges drop. They don't come up to the comb, they drop down, and all the edges are going to be down here. So that's what you call either a center gather is what I call it, or a drop veil. That's our first cut. The next cut is going to be the cathedral. The second veil in our Sophia look is a cathedral. Sophia had a grand cathedral. Her train went on, but we're going to do just a standard train because these veils I make in this tutorial goes to Adorned in Grace. And if you don't know about Adorned in Grace, they are a bridal shop here in Oregon, and there's one in Arizona as well, where 70% of the proceeds that we donate, veils or dresses, go to help women who have been rescued from human trafficking. And they have a hard time selling Grand Cathedral. So I'm going to do just 100 length, which will give a nice 3-foot train, which is a typical train for most people. And now I'm going to give myself 2 inches for the comb, and I'm going to cut straight through. And if you want to make this longer, all you do is keep adding the footage that direction. It doesn't matter. Nothing changes on how I do this. If I have a longer train, it's just more yardage. That's all it is. Every step after this is the same for whatever length of your train it is. And be careful if it doesn't cut that first run, you can actually snag your netting. So I have to do that. And we're almost done with the cathedral, if you can believe that. It's pretty easy. All right, so this is the fold. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both ends. This is the top of the veil and the bottom of the veil. And this is the fold. I'm going to take that fold and fold that in half. I'm going to be cutting the width. This is our width. This is our length. I want to cut this to 72. So I'm going to take this. This is the center of the veil. This is the end. This is the fold. And I'm going to fold that one more time. And with netting, a flick really goes a long ways. I'm taking this and I'm turning it. And this will be, again, this is your width. Pull that out. So again, here's your fold. That's the center of your veil. This is the width of it. And I'm going to take it down to 36. Now, Sophia looked like she might have had 120 inch width. If you can find it, I would go. If you want a real grand cathedral, that's the way to go, to do 120 width or 108 inch width. Now we're going to open all this up. Now you got your cathedral here. This is the length of it. We're going to take the 2 bottom corners and we're going to now cut a little curve. And I'm going to do a small curve. The more you arch your curve, the less of a rounded train you're going to have. So because I want this to be really rounded, I'm going to do a very light curve here, and I'll show you what I'm talking. I see it in my head. You know, there are curved rulers you can use. You can use all different kinds of things. Whatever is easiest for you. I just eyeball it. I go about halfway in or a little bit past halfway, and I'm just going to carve off that little corner. Got a nice little rounded edge there. Isn't that lovely? And that is our cathedral. All right, so I'm going to take this outside and we're going to go ahead and put some resin dots on the veil. For my next step, I thought I would take you outside into my garden, and I'm just going to do this outside because these little dewdrops of resin can be cured in UV light in moments, just in seconds. And so this is going to be the fastest way for me to show you how to do it. The little kit that I'll show you at the end of the video does have a little UV light, which is great. You can do little sections at a time, but I just want to show you how to do this, you know, just kind of in full view. And then you guys can just decide how you want to do it from here. But I do have a little resin glue board, and this little mat came with the resin kit. I have some resin right here in a dark container because UV light will cure it, so this will go hard if I don't. And at the very tip I put a pin, so in between I am going to be able to close it up so it doesn't get clogged. All right, and I have an apron on. My table is covered in a black plastic. I got gloves. We're going in. We're going to do a dewdrop veil, and it is extraordinary. I'm not going to do a ton of the dewdrops because Sophie's veil was made at Chanel, and so there's a team of people doing all those little dewdrops. There's only one me, and there's only one you. So I'm going to show you a simple, kind of more pared down version of Sophie's veil, and then you can do as many dewdrops as you want after that. So why don't we just get started and get this little dewdrop veil made. Some tricks I learned when doing these dewdrop veils is to keep the veil very flat. So I'm using these weights all around this section, and I'll be moving this section as I go. I have my rubbing alcohol right there in case there's anything I want to clean up real quick, because you can do that with resin. You can clean it with alcohol much like you do glue. All right, let's get started. I'm super excited about this. And again, I'm not going to do a ton. I'm going to do this kind of like I do my crystals, and keeping that very tight. Again, I use the same idea I do with my crystals, and I'm just going to put a little dot. And we're going to let that cure. It should cure pretty quickly because I'm in the direct sunlight. Some will be bigger, some will be littler. And then what you can do once this cures a little bit is you can add one more little dot over the top of that to round it off a little bit more. I almost wish this was a little smaller opening. So if you can find a dark bottle with a smaller opening, I think you'll get a really cool effect. I'm going to go back over this one. And some of them rounded off really nice. Push that down. All right, so we'll give that a couple of seconds. Actually, we're going to give it more than a couple seconds. About 10 seconds. And then you're just going to pull that right off your glue board, and you'll have little dewdrops. Isn't that amazing? How easy is that? A lot easier than you think, right? All right, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to now just keep moving the veil this direction and keep placing those little dewdrops in different sizes, keeping mindful of where they're at. And then I'm going to kind of avoid the face area. I don't want to get any like dewdrops in someone's face range, their nose. All right, let's keep going. And I had an idea. I thought it would be really cool. You could even place a crystal down and then put the resin over the top, or a pearl, and encapsulate it in that dewdrop, which would be really a pretty effect. And then I'm going to double up on some of these that went flat. Look at that. And that's so amazing and so simple. And now moving more towards the middle of the veil. And something that starts to happen, you'll see see how that's starting to kind of crust over on there. You can just pull that right off. Just like that. Comes right off. I'm going to keep going on and doing all the dewdrops, and then I'm going to show you what to do, because this is a blusher. The one shorter veil is a blusher veil because it's a drop edge. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the front part, because we want the dewdrops to be rounded on the front and the back. When you pull that back over so that the dewdrops aren't flat on the other side, and I'm going to show you what to do for that. I'm going to keep going, and then I'll meet you at that point, and then I'll show you the next step. Check out my little garden buddy, Charles. That's my dog. He's sitting with me while I'm making the veil. Well, I gotta say, this is an absolutely stunning effect. The dewdrops look like rain has fallen on the veil. And now what I'm doing is I'm putting them double-sided on the side that flips over the bride's face. Because the resin is flat on one side, I want it to be bubbled on both sides, sort of like I do with my crystals, and double-side them. And it's super easy, so I just turn it over. And then with the resin, I'm gonna go back over the little dewdrops that we already made. And you don't even need your board for this. You just need to have it flat, and you just need to kind of put it over here. I've already done a few here just to kind of get the ball rolling. And that's it right here. And I got some resin right here, so I quickly just remove it with some rubbing alcohol, and it comes right up into a little clump. Well, here she is. I think she looks amazing. I feel so happy about the effect. It just has the look of raindrops. Amazing. My drops are a lot bigger than what was on Sophie's, and that's a lot that had to do with the little cap, and the hole was pretty big. But again, it's really more we're trying to capture the effect and not necessarily copy exactly. All right, now I'm going to show you how to take this beautiful drop veil and put it on a comb, and I'm going to line these up, because her veil, the tiers were completely on top of one another, so they weren't tiered at all. All right, so line that all up, and then the simple part is putting it on the comb. All right, I determined the center, because this is where the comb is going to go. All right, since the blusher is underneath, we're just going to go ahead and center this on the comb. And I'm going to do a little whip stitch. And the reason I'm not gathering it, usually I'll gather about 12 inches in, is that her lines were very straight on the bottom. And so I'm not going to put any gather on the comb at all. And when I was finished doing the resin dots, I did cure it out in the sunlight for a little bit. And it's fully cured when it's no longer tacky. And then I just brought it in. I just hung it on like a little clothes thing, and I just let it just dry out there. It was so pretty, sparkling in the summer sun. I mean, what better thing to do? Spend time outside putting resin dewdrops on a veil. It's such a great job. Now, let's talk about the Cathedral. I am a solo creator. That means I no longer have a shop and I no longer have an assistant, which I used to have. And so I am not putting dewdrops on the Cathedral for you guys because these are two separate veils, but I am going to just show you, I showed you how to cut it, and I'll show you how to put it on a comb. And then I also captured Sophia's placement. So this veil, the center gather veil, was placed second. The first veil, it was placed under her bun, and that veil is the Cathedral, and you just place that under the bun like you would normally. So it has that detachable aspect to it, which I thought was brilliant. You could wear the little drop veil at your reception for sure. But let me know in the comments below, what other celebrity veil would you like me to hack? I had way too much fun doing this, and I'll do my best to see if I can recreate that for you in a tutorial. I'm going to show you the next step, and then I'm going to show you what kit I used to create these beautiful resin dewdrops. Well, now we're on the home stretch, and I'm going to take that comb on the little blusher veil, and I'm going to go ahead and finish around the edge of this real quick, kind of make it look nice so that if any part of it does show, it has a finish to it. And I just found a little piece of netting lace that I kind of carry. I keep all kinds of laces just for this kind of occasion. You just never know when you're going to need a piece of lace. And netting lace is just real thin. It's very light and delicate. It usually trims out other things, which is kind of fun. And keep on the lookout. I'm going to do another resin dot veil, but this one will not need UV ray. So I was going to start with this one and then kind of show you another option because each is different. And I just thought this one was just amazing, the effect it had. And then right in the center here, I have a little resin dot, and I'm going to finish it right there. And that says, "To everyone that I care about, everything I do, front and back." Now the main veil, the blusher veil, is done. You're just going to basically take a gathered veil, and this is a Cathedral. We already cut this, and I gathered it, and you can see the tutorial, Let's Gather Together, so you can know how I did that and why I'm using fishing line. And I'm just going to put it on there. Now, because I don't have any resins on this, I don't have to be mindful as to my direction. Just be mindful when you do your comb that the resin bubble is on the outside, not on the inside. And you can always double side to make them pretty both sides, but if you're not going to do that, that's how I recommend you doing it. And then I just put my glue. I'm just going to put a dollop of glue underneath. And on your comb, I would do a 3 or even 4 to 5 inch comb, and that will help prevent it from penciling in the back. And obviously a thicker veil is going to pencil less. That means when the veil starts to look really thin coming down the back of the bride. I'm not a big fan of that look, and so the comb and the width have a lot to do with it not penciling. And the reason I leave it on the fishing line is if it's not long enough, it actually moves back and forth, and I can adjust the width of it, but I don't need it now. I'm going to take that off. So I'm going to whip stitch this all the way around, and then I'm going to finish it with ribbon around it, just like I did using the netting lace around the other one, just to kind of finish everything off real beautiful. I wanted to show you what kit I use. I'm not an affiliate, and I do not get any kickback from this at all, but I want you to know exactly what I used, and this is what I used. It's UV resin, and I'm sure there are other UV resins out there that might work just as well. So check this out. It comes with a little UV light inside, so you don't have to do it outside. And it's a little tiny, but you can do little bits at a time, and it cures really fast. It comes with 2 bottles, and I used one of these on the blusher veil, and I'm sure you would use one more on the Cathedral. I didn't have enough energy to do the Cathedral because I just didn't. I'm just one person here, but you can do it in your own time, and you can just do both veils, making them amazing. It also comes with this little resin mat, and I just put it on the back of some cardboard, which makes it really easy to shove around when I'm doing my work. So with the glue board, all of this, great kit, very cheap. It was like under $12. I was like, what? This is amazing. This is how you make the Sophia Richie veil. And if you want to learn how to make more amazing veils for your wedding, check out this tutorial. It's going to show you how to do all kinds of amazing veils from start to finish. Thanks for stopping in. See you later, veil makers.